Hey everybody, we just wrapped up the second workout, the second weight workout of week 4, so it was upper body. And you'll see I did try the variation to the dead arm hang, so you'll see it's in sets and they're 30 seconds. You're doing the switch grip. I feel like those 30-second increments are much easier than that straight 1.5 minutes of just dead arm hang. Back onto the dead arm hang. So, dead arm hang. If you have kids, I'm sure you've been to the park. If not, go to the park. Remember as a kid, the monkey bars, like you would just fly across those like, whew, it's nothing. I know now that I've had kids, I've been to the park, I tried the monkey bars, and they kicked my ass. I told my husband and I laughed because we were like, when the hell did these get so hard? If you really want a challenge, try to make it across some monkey bars, but that's what the switch grip reminds me of. But as I said, you have so many seconds, you just keep switch gripping, and then just like the other iron will drills, you have like some leeway on how many times you can drop, and then if you kind of have to wave the white flag, there's a variation, which ironically enough, I think the step down variation for this is a dead arm hang after some recovery time. But little secret, my feet kind of drag against the ground a little bit, and I might use that as a little modification. I cheat that way on the monkey bars at the playground too. So everybody stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you.
Don't get sick.
Greatest tip of all, don't get sick. Hey everybody, it has been quite a while since I've been down here. In fact, I have one more strength session and then the 400 challenge to finish out week 4. It has been quite a while because COVID hit this house. So if you watched, I think earlier in the week, even last week, I talked about my husband tested positive and ended up being very, very sick. He ended up with COVID pneumonia. I ended up getting COVID. My symptoms were quite mild, and my oldest ended up with COVID, and her symptoms were also very mild and lasted like 3 days, if that. And the youngest, ironically or crazy enough, has just again today tested negative. So she's never contracted the virus. So as you can imagine, it was just, yeah, all routine, structure, everything just goes to the wayside. You're just getting through the days. So I am struggling very much with just getting back on schedule and routine, and I'm a very routine person. So I am hoping to get down here and get that final, I believe, upper body lifting workout done. I even have to look the workout over. I can't even remember what exercises are called for in this workout. And then it's a rest day, which I'm hoping to get a ride in on the spin bike, followed by the 400 challenge. And I am super pumped. Of all the programs I've done, I find that the challenges, the 400 challenges are always my favorite. They always follow the same structure, 4 exercises, 100 reps each. You do it in whatever fashion suits you. And I have said it before, and I'll say it again, that AX1's 400 challenge, I think, is just an ultimate classic. And cool enough, this All-American Muscle first 400 challenge is the AX1 400 challenge with a bit of a twist. So it's the same 4 exercises, your push-ups, your inverted rows, air squats, and sit-ups, but he throws in those holds that you've been practicing all month long, which, so obviously that's gonna add another element of difficulty to it, but I'm kind of looking forward to that. Obviously, I don't feel as though I'm going to perform at top level with what's going on. I haven't exercised, I don't even know. It had to have been at least a week, maybe. I wouldn't even have a clue anymore. Dates, days, everything's a blur. Hey everybody, so I officially made it down here for the last workout of week 4. Let's be 100% honest, I'm not feeling it. I definitely went to go do my bench, and I had to drop the weight. I could not do the weight that I did the last time I did the bench. It was just way too much. In fact, just doing the primers with the bands, I was feeling that and the row machine as a warm-up, but I'm struggling. This morning, my husband kept asking, he's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? It's like, I mean, this has finally mentally broke me. I'm struggling. I'm a person of habit and routine. I love my routines. That's just how I thrive. And one thing for sure is I like to get up. I like to go to bed early. I like to get up early. I like to have my cup of coffee and relax for a bit before my kids get up. That's completely changed. In fact, I walked downstairs this morning and there they were both sitting. They've gotten me out of bed. I hate that. There's like, I don't know what it is. There's no worse way for me to start a day than them getting me up. I prefer to have a mental charge to start the day, or just mentally prepare myself for the day. But it's a fight to kind of just attempt to get back to some sort of normalcy. We've been eating out a bunch because we don't really have much groceries. Like, it's just like, oh, it's just, it's a free-for-all, honestly, if you want to know the honest truth. At this point, it's just survival. I just hope like to get through Christmas and then maybe be getting back to some sense of normalcy in this house. My goal is to finish up this week before Christmas. Ever there was a time I didn't feel like doing an iron will drill, it's today. First round I did wrong because I watched the thumbnail instead of watching the full video. Second round I did it correctly. Obviously you can see I'm modifying on my knees, which puts it right at the level I need to be at. But I said this, I don't know if I said it earlier in this video or in another video. One thing that he skipped over on in these second sets of iron will drills, they're the next step up. And if you have to, what he terms, wave the white flag, because you're not capable of doing it, so you would need to step it down. He briefly tells you what the step down version is in the blurb, does not address it whatsoever in the demo video. So that kind of bugs me, especially considering on this last and final round I'd be tempted to maybe step it down, but we'll see. One more round to go and I officially finished this workout, and then challenge in a couple of days, and fingers are crossed. And in those couple of days, I am feeling much better. Hey everybody, the 400 challenge is upon me today, and I'm actually feeling pretty pumped about this. Truth be told, I also just got done dipping into the cookie frosting, so I thought, yeah, maybe I'll use that sugar rush to get me through this. So if you have any experience with the AX 400 challenge, you know how much strategy is actually involved and can really affect the outcome of the challenge. So 400 challenge, AX1, the original. 400 reps, 4 exercises. Do them, break them up in any way you want. And you're going for time. How quickly can you get it done? I've it's because I've done the challenge so many times, I've altered my approach multiple different ways and strategies, and just to, see every time if I could beat my score. I believe the best score I ever got might have been 13 minutes, maybe 12, somewhere in there. I don't know. I'm sure it's written down somewhere. But now, the All-American Muscle 400 Challenge. Same exercises as the original AX1, but there's a twist. And this twist is going to affect time as well as strategy. I think the very common and the best approach to the first challenge, a lot of people take and break it into 10 by 10. So 10 sets of 10 reps. And I found that was always a great approach for me for certain exercises, like the push-ups and inverted rows. It really wear my upper body out pretty quickly. But that's not necessarily going to be the best strategy this time around, because after your first set, so your first set of each exercise, you can jump right in and do that set. Anytime you come back to that exercise, so say I did 10 push-ups, and in the past I think I did, it was just like a circuit. I'd do 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, 10 inverted rows, 10 body squats. Okay, that's great. But then now your second set, he's added this twist. You have to do a hold of that exercise or that muscle group before you can start your next set. So for the body weights, the squats, then you have to go do 20-second wall sit before you can take on that next set. So obviously you're adding more time and you're wearing your muscles out that much faster. So obviously, I think in one of the challenges I've done, I think I got all 100 body weight squats out of the way right at the start, because I've got that strength in my lower body. I could do that. and I think I realized too, but then at the same time, before all these holds, those body weight squats, incorporating those gave your upper body a little bit of a rest in between. So that thoughts on my brain. Another thing, if you've watched my channel, I am horrible about zoning out and I lose count. So now, not only are you, it's like, I don't know if I want to break it down still into sets of so many, or if you're just going to do as many as you can until you tire out, knowing that the hover holds or any sort of hold comes into play. I've got lots of thoughts going through my brain, which I'm going to warm up very gently, get the blood flowing and loosen up a bit before I jump into this. So I've got a little time to think it through. But these are the thoughts going through my head right now. So the other the holds, which are a nice way to end this month, this challenge, because these are basically your iron will drills incorporated into the challenge. Dead arm hang, wall sit, hollow body hold, and a hover hold in the push-up position. So I'm still wondering. I know that there are there's scoring that always goes on with these challenges, so I'm sure there's a certain time requirement that you have to pass in order to move on to month 2 or whatever level you're going to be at. For me, for any of these challenges I've ever done, usually I look at them as just an intense workout, or sometimes like a 400 challenge. I do like to keep the time because traditionally with 400 challenges, they reappear in a program. With AX1, I know the 400 challenge appeared in month 2 and in month 3. So I don't believe this challenge is in month 2, but I would not in no way be surprised if this is at the end of the program. So just this first go around is getting your feet wet, experiencing the challenge, getting an initial time, keeping track of that time so you can compare it when you eventually will probably have to repeat this challenge. But I'm gonna warm up and I'm gonna strategize a little more. All right, official finish time was 22 minutes. I'm a little disappointed. Truth be told, my thoughts were on like 18 minutes, but that's also thinking about previous scores on Athlean-X, the AX1 400 challenge. So as much as I feel a little disappointed, I'm also trying to remind myself that I am not top notch right now. In fact, I will admit, during this challenge, a couple times I thought I was gonna toss up my cookies. I even got like lightheaded once or twice. So that was playing against me there. Strategy, all out the window. It really, for me, a couple of bits of strategy that I kept. Knowing my sit-ups and my body squats were my strong exercises. I could knock out a lot of those in one set. But that being said, body weight squats, I did all 100 straight shot. But I went into this knowing that those could also almost be rests to those sets for my upper body. So I'm kinda, I don't know, I'm kinda thinking maybe if I wouldn't have hit all 100 body squats at once, that might have benefited me, because when you get to the end and all you're doing is hopping back and forth between inverted rows and push-ups, the upper body isn't getting that rest, and you're expiring or you're taxing out a lot quicker in those sets. But knowing that every time I re-entered into an exercise, I had to do that hold, just made me tax out in every set I did. I left nothing on the table, which is probably why by the end I was just like, oh my God, I'm gonna throw up. But here's what's interesting too. Right before I started the challenge, I looked up the challenge scoring. He hasn't even set the scores up yet. In fact, there's I don't know if you can input your score. He basically says he's waiting for Team Athlean-X to input their scores, and then they're gonna come up with a range. So that kind of gives you an idea of how much more data, I guess, that they have to get submitted before they can even kind of come up with a range. But remember, most importantly, just compare it to your own scores, because that's all that matters. I'm not too worried about those dudes pumping out, 400 challenges in 7 minutes. That's, bravo to them. That's amazing. That's just not even in my wheelhouse. That's so far never, I don't even don't even focus on that. But it will be interesting moving forward to see what happens when we repeat this challenge eventually. But it is like the AX1 400 challenge on steroids, honestly, because I definitely was knocking out those exercises, like the sit-ups and the squats. I could knock out all 100 of those right away. I couldn't do that in the beginning when I first did this challenge, or the AX1 challenge. Body weights are the inverted rows, and push-ups are always where it gets me. And I did all push-ups on my knees, knowing how much more emphasis was going to be on the upper body. But I remember when I first did this challenge, I couldn't even do 10 inverted rows at one time. And my push-ups, 10. 10 was maxing it. Now granted, I had slowly worked my way up to doing some off of my knees in these challenges, but in the very beginning, to do 10 on my knees was like, that's about as much as I could get in a set. Today, I knocked out 30 in my first set of push-ups. Inverted rows might have been 20, but I don't know for sure. But yeah, that's it. That is month 1. Moving on to month 2 in a couple of days. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, for whatever you celebrate. I hope you enjoy time with your family. I hope you all stay healthy and well. And I will see you in month 2 for what looks to be quite the upgrade in intensity and duration. If you've seen my other videos on the other programs, max size month 2 was a nice month. I liked the setup. I liked the workouts. I also liked the way that it was divided. You'd hit one body group and then do that, and then you'd follow the same format and do the second body group that was in one day. Oftentimes, I split it between having other things to do in life, not wanting to spend all that time at once in the gym. And it looks, now this is just before I've gotten my feet wet and jumped into the month. Month 2 of All American Muscle reminds me of that aspect of month 2 of max size, in that there's a separation. Looks almost like 2 workouts in one day. And I have a very good feeling I may be separating that month much the way I did month 2 of max size, but only time will tell. So happy holidays, Merry Christmas, see you on month 2.